Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. 2 days ago, on the 10th of November 2023, I made a video featuring the President of France, Emmanuel Macron, during a short interview with, I think it was BBC. And in that interview, I said that the President of France, Macron, sealed his career, destroyed it, ruined it. I will show you the video right here. This is the video, the title of the video that I made on the 10th. France's Macron calls out Israel to stop killing Gaza's women and babies. Career-ruining move. So this is on the 10th. And now it seems like it's done. The career-ruining move is right here. Netanyahu answers Macron. From Russia Today, the 12th of November, Macron made, quote-unquote, moral mistake. Now, if we talk about morality, then we talk about divinity in this case. And we're not good, are we? If we get in that murky water. There are some problems. You know, the eye of Sauron that I was speaking about with, those orcs that are sent to destroy you once you dare to attack certain things that are unattackable. All right. Well, I'm not sure if Netanyahu is part of the eye of Sauron anymore. Why? Because I think the eye of Sauron tries to get rid of Netanyahu. And I think this Gaza thing, the intelligence failure, gives Netanyahu an opportunity to unite everyone and forget about toppling him. Remember, for the past, I don't know, when he got elected, he got in office he got in office, let's put it this way, in Israel, with his coalition government, there were demonstrations and a lot of people wanting him out of the office. So he was clinging to something. Did not receive good press here, Netanyahu. The US politics dared to touch Netanyahu negatively a little bit and ignored, give him a cold shoulder, remember, Biden and so on. So then the surprising attack that the Israeli intelligence missed, big failure, unite Israel around Netanyahu. Remember Goering, right? Hermann Goering? Yeah, Marshal, the air marshal, whatever he was. Not air marshal like, the German Luftwaffe. He was a marshal, tralalulu. He was Vice Führer or something like that. When he said that if you want, it's very easy to unite people around you. You say you're attacked, you showed who attacked you, and then you attack people around you that try to make peace or not go to war, and everybody's gonna rally around you. So could be one of these things for Netanyahu. So Netanyahu, I think he was outside, and he tries now to attack Macron. But Netanyahu, if he doesn't have the eye and the orcs, they will not be activated. Maybe that's why Macron had the courage, the balls to say what he said. So let's read this article further. The Israeli Prime Minister has slammed the French president for accusing him of bombing civilians in Gaza. Oy vey, how do you dare to do that? We don't do that. Hamas does it. And if Hamas doesn't do it, then Hamas use them as, right, human shields, is that what I say? Insisting he is doing everything to minimize harm. Well, okay. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has urged Western leaders not to bow to pressure from those calling for a ceasefire in Gaza, saying that French President Emmanuel Macron made a mistake by calling for the Israeli Defense Forces to stop bombing civilians in the Palestinian enclave. During a press conference on Saturday, Netanyahu said that Israel was, and I'm quoting, doing everything to minimize harm to civilians. Everything means if you don't shoot, you don't bomb, that's part of everything. So you're not doing everything. Because stop bombing is included in everything, right? That's everything. You might say mostly everything, and you say, yeah, in that thing that it's outside of mostly is stop bombing. But not everything. You're not doing everything. That's for sure. To minimize harm to civilians, but would not give Hamas, quote unquote, a license to murder its citizens without a response, according to the Times of Israel. It's true, Netanyahu, but you see, he uses everything, which I already discussed, and then he said, would not give Hamas a license to murder civilians without a response. He put a response as a general thing. There are different kind of responses. He can drop an atomic bomb on Gaza. That would be a response. So you see, or could attack and take care of Hamas in a different way. That's another kind of response. He said without a response. He lumped everything like we had to respond. And those guys would do everything. You see how imbecilic that is? You're not doing everything. If you would not bomb, and I'm not saying they should not bomb, they should fight the fighters, not the Palestinians in general as people, civilians, and then without a response. What kind of response? That matters, my friend. It's like someone I know tells you you're stupid, and you go over there and you pull up the bazooka and you do what the bazookas do and say, well, I had to respond to that. Whoa, 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 whoa. There comes some limits, right? On Friday, let me read further. Macron told the BBC that he clearly condemns, and quote, the Hamas attack on Israel. Very clearly, unambiguously. However, he also said that I'm quoting, de facto, today civilians are bombed. Civilians are bombed. Over there he condemns Hamas clearly. Okay, but civilians are bombed. By whom? He wouldn't dare to go that far. Pointing out that, and I'm quoting, there is no reason for that and no legitimacy. Well, there is legitimacy, but not for civilians, that's for sure. Urging Israel to stop. Okay, mentioned Israel, pop. He added that a humanitarian ceasefire was the only solution to protect all civilians in Gaza. Commenting on Macron's remarks, Netanyahu said that, and I'm quoting, he made a serious mistake, factually and morally. It is Hamas preventing the evacuation of civilians, not Israel. This is a mouse. Its color is black. Got it? All right now. He argued that Hamas was firing on the safe corridor. Okay. So, French president, his basic, and again, they changed. As I always say, these guys always have to put this thing right here. And if you read, and that's their choice, I just note that, take note of that, observe it, and I'm going to point it out. Whenever you read an article on that thing and blah, 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 you're going to always now see here. Now, Hamas attacked Israel, killing some 1,200. They dropped from 1,400. I made a video and they didn't let me do it that way. I had to change the name. And even though it was a fact reported by the Israelis, not by the Palestinians or Hamas. But YouTube is YouTube. What do you want? Eye of Sauron is there. So killing someone, so they're going to see this, some 1,200. You're going to see all these things at the introduction, in the middle of the article, or at the end. It doesn't really matter. My point is this. Macron, Eye of Sauron on him. Now, I don't know if Netanyahu still is part of the full protection of the Eye of Sauron. And I don't know if they will send squads of orcs to attack Macron in the media, some spontaneous, protests and blah, blah, blah. I'm not certain. But it's a possibility if Netanyahu could merge him and Israel. If he merges him as Israel and he's not to the side, yes, the eye will. But I don't think the eye will keep it a bit separate from, because Netanyahu wants to say, we, Israel, we do this, and he's wrong about that. But the guys can say, no, 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 no. That's you doing that because it's your order doing that. So it's you actually. So you're outside, but we don't like you. Remember the past year, all those demonstrations and all that? So actually, don't you try to put yourself as being the father of the revolution over there, because you're not. So it depends how these guys determine Netanyahu's worth. Of worth. Thank you very much. If they considered him, or at least a little bit merging into their goal and their entity, then yes, Macron will be. But unless Macron is able to change the French constitution, he's out. He can't be re-elected, as far as I know. But as he signed single-handedly that pension reform, I think he can do many things in that France, democratic France. Vive la liberté, fraternité, plaplapalité. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.